Hi everyone, Di Parker here, and today I've asked one of our Just Ask a Coach members to come and join me on this podcast. If you're thinking about creating your own business, or perhaps you're struggling in your own business, then this is the lady for you. This is Emma from Jigsaw Consulting, and we're just going to have a little chat now about how she can help you get on the right path for your business. Thanks so much for coming along and playing with me today doing this.
Oh, thanks for popping my podcast cherry, Di.
So, this time of year, we're in January, we're starting a new year. People are starting to look at their life and making changes in different areas. And often that can be that they're deciding to go and start their own business, or perhaps they want to make some changes. They're struggling in their own um, with their own accounting and stuff like that. And I think you feel sometimes when you start these things that you have to do everything yourself.
Mm,
And
yeah.
to find somebody like you that can actually help them and guide them at the start could save so much of a bit of aggravation that you get. So I thought this would be a good chance to have a chat with you and just sort of let your advice come through to reach these people that might
Mm,
be struggling in this way.
mm. Yeah, January, big time for new
Mm,
starts, new
mm.
ventures, and the likes. Um, you're absolutely right. We don't have to do it all ourselves. There's so much help out there, and it doesn't have to cost a fortune either. There's budgets available for everybody, or there's packages available for everybody's budget. It doesn't work. It doesn't, long gone are the days when the accountant used to turn up once a year and charge you £5,000 for your accounts, or you have to go with the big four to get your accounts done. That just doesn't happen anymore. And we've got so many boutique bookkeepers, especially on the island. There's so much business out there. There's so many bookkeeping and accountancy practices out there that are like filling the void, which is brilliant. And we're all very boutique. We're all very bespoke. We meet the client's needs, and we tweak our services to suit the clients as well.
Right.
So I have like sole traders, limited companies, multi-million pound companies, international companies,
Mm,
and you wouldn't be able to put that all down on paper and say that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run my business like that. These have all just organically happened like that.
mm.
And so anything from £16,000 a year right up to £2 million a year turnover companies, and they all use small boutique bookkeeping services like us.
Right.
Yeah, so
So if somebody's starting to think about they want to start their own business, um, what steps should they think about doing before they
just do
actually
it.
just
Do
do
it.
it? Just do it.
Just get out there and do it.
Yeah.
No, think about, I mean, people will talk about business plans, market research, and the likes. Um, I'm a bit of a believer of just do it and just get out there and see if it works. And the most you'll have spent is £100 by incorporating your company. And well, that's not the most. Let's say you'll have spent £100 incorporating your company if you go down the limited company route. You maybe have invested a little bit in research. You might have bought a bit of product.
You know the what the service is that you want to provide to somebody.
Mm,
It's just
mm,
then, you can go out, and I know that you get hit an awful lot when you're starting off about marketing and social media posts and
yeah,
all of this,
yeah,
and it gets very overwhelming,
yeah,
and it can take the fun out of it, and
yeah,
then they throw at you the bookkeeping, um, and you're like, this is what I signed up
yeah,
for. Particularly me, I'm a creator, so I like to do the hands-on stuff and create different things, whether it's courses or opportunities for
yeah,
conversations and that kind of thing. But then to sit and
yeah.
do the
Exactly,
books,
yeah. And but I'm the opposite. So if you told me to do the creative side of a business, and in fact I don't, I hire a marketing person because
yeah,
I've got no creativity in me.
yeah,
Not in that way anyway, not in that or
yeah,
that visual sort
yeah.
of way.
Mm.
I'm much more, I don't want to say creative with my numbers because I'm not. But I am more creative in a strategy. I'll say, oh, have you thought about doing this with your business? And what about that? And here's a picture. I go through the courier sometimes, and send pictures of things in the courier to my clients at like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, what about this for you? And, I email them at like 11 o'clock because I've seen something on Facebook that might float their boat. And so I'm creative in that way, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely
You're not
not a
just
visual
creative there,
person.
you're actually coaching your client
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
the
service that
strategy,
you're providing, which I think
yeah,
that's pretty priceless actually, because it can have a very daunting view for some people, but
yeah,
like you say, it's your bag,
yeah,
so you enjoy it.
yeah.
And I think if you are trying to pull everything together and want to know what strategy to take to help this business get off the ground, what advice have you got around that?
So a couple of non-bookkeeping advice tips are embrace technology.
Mm,
Yeah, embrace the
I'm
technology.
getting there.
So there's a saying, there's an app for that. There absolutely is an app for pretty much everything you need. And if there isn't, create one
Yeah.
because you found a niche. So yeah, embrace the tech. And yes, you could end up spending like 10 lots of $29 a month on, 10 different softwares. But if those 10 different softwares save you 4 hours of admin time a week, then it's gold dust. That's probably my biggest tip, and that's something that we're embracing in Jigsaw as well. I try and use software wherever we can. um I'm trying to not go overboard and just go with every new shiny thing that comes on the market. I have to rein myself in a bit. But I was trying to find out some figures today about how much we spend. I reckon we spend about £450 a month just on software alone.
Right.
And that's just so that we operate our business. That's not our client software
Mm,
that we rebill. That's just general software in order to try and make our systems better and streamline our processes, cut out extra admin time. So my number one tip would be embrace technology. There's
right.
even a thing called the app advisory where you can go in and put in your industry and it'll tell you all the apps that could be used in your industry. And so then you can say, okay, well, I already use Xero accounting software. So what integrates with Xero that is for my industry? And so you can pick and choose the apps that will make your business streamlined,
Mm.
which is really clever. So there really is an app for everything.
Yeah, you'd have to want to embrace that. So I'm at the point
Yeah,
where I'm like, really, can you not just,
yeah,
it's yeah, I'm working on that.
yeah. I mean, it's my mum also says, really, I've run your dad's business without an app, without
Yeah,
technology for years. And
yeah.
yeah, she did, and she did it brilliantly. But that's just not the way it is now,
No.
And you can carry on like that. Don't get me wrong, you can
But
run it
I
like that.
hadn't realized how much time it actually does save
Yes,
you.
that's it. Because if she was to move on to more automated processes, then
Mm.
she wouldn't maybe have to sit there on a Tuesday handwriting bills and what have you. Exactly. So no, I exaggerate. I think she is now using a system to write her bills out. But yeah, there's you don't realize how, and sometimes the thought of implementing it is so overwhelming that you just don't implement it.
Mm.
And that's where your accountant or your bookkeeper or maybe even your consultancy, they can come in and they will do that heavy lifting for you. So
Yeah,
you just walk into a nice, neat, implemented system that they just give you a little bit of training on.
yeah.
And then you'll literally wonder how you coped beforehand. If you see some of these processes that make life easier, you'll think, oh my goodness, how did I not like bring this into my practice before?
Right. So what other tips have you got for some?
So another big tip of mine is to niche.
Yeah,
So find a skill set that you really have that maybe isn't everyone's cup of
yeah,
tea. So for me, it's
yeah.
bookkeeping. Like I love the bookkeeping. I love the nitty gritty. I love the operational stuff. I like getting involved with my clients, like transactions and sorting things out. And another big niche that we've gone down now is messy clients. So the amount of messy clients there are that haven't got a clue what they're doing, and they come to me 2 years down the line because they've let it overwhelm them, and then they keep putting it to the back and the brown envelopes turn up and they keep putting them to the hiding them and putting them away, and then eventually they get to the point where they just need help, and they come to me 2 years down the line with a bag, literally a bag full of receipts, And I'm like, yes, give me that. And so we put them on a system, we streamline their processes, and we basically take all their back office function off them and let them just do what they want to do. Their
Yeah.
gardening, their
Yeah.
plumbing, their electrician,
Yeah.
their consultancy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's, it's not just the trades that are like that.
Mm.
So
And that's what Just Ask a Coach is about, by the way. When you feel overwhelmed, you reach out and speak to one of our coaches with whatever it is.
yeah, yeah,
Hey.
yeah. So yeah, niching is a big one
Yeah.
because you can niche and really find your ideal client, which then really aligns with you and the essence of what you're trying to promote in your business.
Mm-hmm.
So niching, and like I had a funny fact about, WD-40.
Yeah.
That's the only product they've ever done, and only ever product that that particular business has ever completed was WD-40. And so talk about niching, that's literally the only thing they sell. And the reason why it's called WD-40 is because it was the 40th version of their chemical
Right.
formula. And so they didn't give up on the 10th try or the 38th try. They found the 40th one to be perfect. And so that's what they've sold. And they've never branched out of any other chemical product. I mean, I'd have to check these as facts, but I've read this.
That could come up in a quiz.
Yeah. So so that's like an extreme version of niching, but
Yeah.
they've done really well out of it.
Mm.
And so yeah, find a niche and
See, a good place to practice niches is in a networking event
yeah.
because I was at one and this young lady was coming around. She had a business idea and women were her target market.
Yeah.
So she came along and she asked each one of us a fashion question.
Mm-hmm.
And from
Nice.
that, she was getting her information to build her business on.
Yeah.
I thought that's a genius
Yeah,
idea.
because there's so many networking and it's so noisy out there. There's a lot, and even some social media groups, pages,
Mm.
there's so much
Yeah.
available to you that you can become so overwhelmed with everything that's available. So if
Mm.
you pick a niche and focus on that niche, you've narrowed down
Yeah.
what's out there that you need to
Mm.
look at. Like even in my industry, I have to the amount of newsletters I have to sign up to and read, or skim read. And so if I because I niche in particular like messy clients, transformation clients and things like that, I now know I only have to sign up really to like Federation of Small Business and things like that. I don't have to go down every tradesman conference and
Yeah.
things like that. I
Yeah.
don't, and even the networking events, I don't have to attend all of them because my niche is very
Yes.
like
Yeah.
narrow.
Who your tribe are?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
try by,
Who
yeah.
you try?
And that's not by niching, you don't have to say you're ruling everything else out.
No.
You can just target your marketing or your network to those ideal client markets, and you can still accept other clients in other
Of
areas.
course. Yeah.
You just have
Yeah.
to
You just concentrate
yeah, you can just
on that
tailor
group,
things.
and
Yeah.
then like anything else, especially on the Isle of Man, it is about word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Them
That
jungle
just
drums.
those
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, so tips, yes, loads. Right. So another really favorite of mine is collaboration over
Yeah.
competition,
Mm-hmm.
collaboration in particular. Um, you know, and that's not to say you don't have to know what other people are doing in your space, but if you're niching and you're niching in a different niche to three or four other businesses in your space, then there's no reason why you can't collaborate with them.
Mm.
You're not direct competition, and make that known. You don't have to fight with all these people.
No.
There's so much work out there in most industries. There's a lot of work out there. So find your niche and then approach people that maybe are ancillary to you, that are complementary to you, that are almost the same as you, and let them know that you're niching in this. And if there's things that don't necessarily fit them, they might fit you,
Mm.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
So collaboration, I always tell my clients, go and ask this, and this person if you can do something with them. They're very close to what you're doing, but they might have something that they just can't fit. So let them
Yeah.
try and see if you can
Yeah.
fill
Yeah.
that void for their
Yeah.
clients.
Or work on something together.
Yeah, and you never know what can happen from these brainstorming
Yeah,
sessions as well. I
I
love it.
know.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
yeah,
many good ideas come
yeah,
out of these like little
yes.
mini networking events, and you get subgroups and splinter groups that
You've
go
just
off.
given
And
me a good idea for something else to do as a theme
oh, there
going
you go.
forward
There you
for the
go.
JAAC team and anybody else who wants to join it.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, anything else?
Yeah. So, this is the bookkeeper in me. Keep
Okay.
everything.
Yeah.
Keep everything. Keep all your receipts. Keep everything, because you just never know when it's going to be needed. You know, keep your receipts in particular, but your certificate of incorporation, your VAT registration certificate, your GDPR certificate, your all the things that are what I call static information. They're things that don't change day to day. Keep them handy. Keep
Mm.
them somewhere safe. I have a company details spreadsheet that we give out to all our clients, and we've got it for our on our stand store. But that is a document that holds all of the company information, that you will ever need at the drop of a hat. It doesn't have login details on it because that's, confidential. You wouldn't want that in the public domain. And in fact, this document isn't meant for the public domain, but it's there for when the VAT man phones you and wants your VAT number, or you're phoning the tax office and you need your company tax reference number. You don't want to go scrabbling around pieces of paper and
This is
files.
true.
You
Yeah.
just want to be able to pull up one spreadsheet that's on your desktop that's there. It also feeds into an organization structure. So make sure so that then you need them for bank accounts. You need them for mostly bank accounts these days, but other people might need your accountant, for example, might need an organization structure
Hmm.
to see who owns shares in your business, who the directors are, who the secretary is. And this feeds all the way through into that. And it's just an Excel document and it's dead easy to use. But yeah, keeping that information to hand all in one place, that the stuff that doesn't change regularly,
Mm.
that's another tip of mine. Yeah, keep everything, but keep your company details ready and available for
It is
when you
true
need
because you
it.
have to go deep diving for these things when you ask.
When you need them, yeah.
Yeah.
How many times have you phoned up the tax office to pay your tax bill or something? And okay, what's your number? You're like, oh yeah, I forgot you were going to ask me this. So yeah, if you've got it all
Yeah.
there, and you can put your staff details on there as well. So if you had staff, you can put their personal details so that if you're phoning up on behalf of them, it's there as well. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's just yeah, keep everything and keep everything handy.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
we're going to cover hiring of staff and that kind of thing
yeah,
next week on another podcast. So that'll be interesting. What else have we got?
yeah. So another big tip: outsource the bits you don't love.
Yes.
Yeah, get rid of them. You don't like marketing, you don't like doing your social media posts, you don't like doing the ads, you don't, get rid of it. Get rid of
Yeah.
it and do something that you do love,
Yeah.
because these things are going to become chores to you
Yeah.
and you're going to
Yeah.
hate them.
And
And
like I said at the start, sometimes when you're starting your own business, you think you have to do these
yeah,
things. And it's only been, and hand on my heart, this last year and a bit that I've actually outsourced accounting, outsourced some admin,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's taken such a weight off my
yeah,
shoulders.
yeah,
And I don't. My fear was always missing somebody that needed my services, and to know that you've got somebody that says,
yeah.
"Have you seen this? Are you answering this?" It's like, yes,
Yeah, so a big help in outsourcing things is to procedurize and document any processes that whoever takes on that role needs to know.
mm.
So I have a bookkeeper. I'm a bookkeeper and I have a bookkeeper because I don't have time to do my own book. So I have an internal bookkeeper
Yeah,
and I've documented all my processes, and they're slightly different to what we do for clients. But I gave them to her and she knows what she's doing already. She's a bookkeeper already. And
yeah,
I said, follow them, tweak them to suit you, and I know that you're good then.
yeah,
And so if you've got a bit of a process that
yeah.
you want somebody to follow,
Mm.
document it and get it ready for them. And then, give, your marketing, for example, if there's a certain tone to your social media posts that you need to use, brand colors, they're all things that should be documented. Give that to your marketing person. They've got a little bit of guidance then, and then they
Mm.
can go
That's
off and do
true.
what they're good
Yeah,
at.
yeah. So that's really helpful.
Yeah.
If somebody has thought of, right, okay, I really could do with speaking to you, and I know that you've got some kind of workshop courses and things that
Mm.
you've got
Yeah.
planned. Do you want to talk a bit about
So
them so
our
we can?
startup business course is probably what you're referring to there.
Yeah,
So yeah, the
yeah.
startup boot camp, that is a 1 day event and we run it every quarter and there's usually about 6 people in the room so that we can give them almost one-to-one attention and we can answer their questions in from a 9 till 6 on a Saturday period of time. And we teach people how to go from concept to operating and we talk about the 12 or less steps that are involved in that. And we at the end of the day we can sit down and fill out the forms that they need. So if they've made the decision to be a sole trader, we'll sit and fill out those forms and get them sent off into the tax office. Or they're a limited company, we'll get the forms filled out and then we have to collect ID and stuff now for the company's registry, so they'll take those forms home with them. So they basically get my brain dump. They get
Yeah.
everything that I know about setting up a business and getting it to the point where it's ready to trade. We talk about banking, insurance, how to pick the right insurance. Now, we're not insurance brokers, but we advise them to go to a broker, but we can talk about the different types of insurance that there are. And then they've got a bit of an idea when they go to a broker what they were asking for,
Yeah.
the type of registrations that they need, VAT registration, employer registration, why do they need that and what does it mean, and why they maybe don't need it, because not all businesses want that level. They don't have to be VAT registered, but they might voluntarily VAT register. So why would they choose to do that? You know, the different types of VAT schemes, employing people, when to do it, why not to do it, why to do it, what you need when you do it. Um, yeah, exactly. It can be a minefield, and if you've never been in, because if you've gone from a world of safety of employment and you've
Yeah.
never had to think about this
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
you open up your own business and go, oh, like I've had like freelancers, particularly from the UK, freelancers come to me not even understanding how VAT percentages are. Oh, well, how does that work when I reclaim VAT on a flight? And I'm like, no, there's no VAT on flights. Oh, isn't that okay? All right, because they've just had somebody doing all this for them, and they've ended up then opening their own business, and yeah, not knowing the basics. So
Well,
they're the
I used
people.
to work in an account, so when we started our businesses back in the 80s, I just took it on. And then it got to the point where I really had enough after, especially having done the VAT angle and dealt with staff. So I thought, right, that's it, clean slate. I'm going up. And I went up and did this massage course. That was the pathway for me. And then one of the modules was accounting. And I just went, no,
Oh,
no, that's what accountants are for.
yeah, outsource
You,
that.
you have to tick the box, Di.
You pass with flying colours then.
Well, that's what,
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, outsource it. If
but
that's not what, yeah,
yeah, but
and
ever since then, I have outsourced to an
yeah,
accountant. I do the bookwork part of it, and then
yeah,
I just give it over to the accountant.
and
But I think this, what you're offering now, if I'd have known about something like that, I would have jumped on this.
yeah, but the beauty now, as opposed to the 80s, is there's an app for it. There's so
Oh
many
my
app
God.
the accounting
Yeah,
softwares do a lot of the heavy lifting for you now.
yeah.
So there's even more reason why sometimes as a small business you can do more yourself without having to pay an accountant.
Mm,
Or if you really don't want to and a bookkeeper's what you want, then you outsource to a bookkeeper.
mm,
But or even admin, some admin VAs and
yeah. So
they
just
can do
just
that job
for
as well.
those that are coming new to a business and they don't necessarily understand the bookkeeper, the accountant role.
Mm.
Could you just clarify some of that?
Yeah, bookkeepers are better. No, we
Especially this one.
yeah, bookkeepers work with accountants. So it used to be that the traditional accountant would pick up the books from the business owner, fill out them big red ledger books, put a P&L and a balance sheet together and submit the tax return and the company financial statements. Now there's so many small businesses out there that need a bit more than that. They need checking in with more than once a year,
Mm.
and usually 9 months after year end or 12 months after year end. And you can't be like that anymore. You need to be a bit more reactive than that as a business owner. So a bookkeeper is the person that's usually a bit more in the day-to-day work. So they're the person, depends, different bookkeepers work different ways, but you would a bookkeeper would be the person dealing with the purchase invoices, entering them, reconciling the bank, maybe sending a few sales invoices if the client didn't do that, um, dealing with the VAT return, like analysing the VAT transactions, making sure that everything's been claimed that needs to be claimed, and basically preparing the books ready for the business owner to look at in a like a monthly P&L maybe, or it depends on whether the business owner has the appetite for looking at that, because quite a lot they don't. They just know as long as there was money in the bank, we're fine. Or preparing the books ready for the accountant to come along and take it from trial balance to a set of accounts. And then the accountants, really their value is then not only just producing those documents, but also giving the real heavy advice, you know, how to be more, even more tax efficient for the business owner's particular situation, how to be take advantage of different schemes and available allowances and things like that. So the bookkeeper is more day to day, in the more day to day operational stuff, and preparing reports and documents that maybe are useful for the business owner to make some decisions around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, where do people find you? Apart from on the Just Ask a Coach site, how do the people get in touch with you?
So my business is called Jigsaw Consulting, and my site's jigsawconsulting.im. And I'm on Facebook with Jigsaw Supporting Your Big Picture, and LinkedIn, Jigsaw Consulting.
That's great. Thank you so much for coming along and
You're
having a
welcome.
talk with us today about all of this. And hopefully that'll help anybody that's looking to start your own business, that you'll be on the right foot. And I will see you again soon. Bye now.